It's Chinese New Year, and the year of the snake has left its first bite. Thanks to this man, Nacho Barbero. Who, like a snake, had GTO Wizard open, playing the Venom tournament on ACR. Cheating? Yes? No? Why? What should be done? Can this infection be cured? Can online poker be saved? We're gonna find the truth.
Now let's get serious. There's a scandal going on in the poker world right now where Nacho Barbero posted a screenshot of his PC as he was playing the Venom on ACR, and he had GTO Wizard open in the background, which is wildly ridiculous because you're not supposed to be using a solver or any form of strategy tool while playing poker. For those that know Nacho, including myself, I had him on the podcast, it's a bit surprising because we certainly thought that Nacho, especially with how he plays and how his reputation is not at all a solver guy, that he probably isn't using too much solvers at all, let alone while playing. And everyone's rambling and screaming, oh, like RTA, like cheating, blah, 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 blah. ACR needs to do something. People are certainly bringing up past allegations with ACR about dealing with cheating as well. ACR does not have the best reputation with dealing with a lot of bots and has gotten a lot of shit for that. So I'm going to talk about the chances of him actually cheating, what should be done, what this all means, what the solution is, and how this affects online poker and how ACR responded to this. First of all, actually, with the chances of him actually cheating, Pads Poker, Patrick Leonard, a reputed very good MTT player and who makes some quite quality content, has already made a video going into the depth of Nacho's play. Pretty much exonerated Nacho, presuming it's the same session that was played. Shows with excruciating detail that pretty much the guy was not using the thing at all.
That Nacho was in no way using GTO Wizard to cheat pre-flop or post-flop.
Although, if he's not using it, why does he have it open? He must have used it at some point. I definitely did not seem to be using it while playing, so there's that. Sam Greenwood comes along and says having it even open while you're playing basically is like a form of cheating. I actually basically agree with that statement, but I want to take it to its conclusion a bit and talk about what this means. If we're going to get really stringent and then diagnose every bad intention to take advantage of your opponent in a game where the goal is to take advantage, by the way, crossing the rules, that would be the bad intention part. That's where we go into the realm of cheating, where you break the rules and do it against the spirit of the game. Actually, that's another thing. Certainly, it's considered cheating if you opened GTO Wizard, had the intention to look and then didn't, and it would qualify as such. But then we'd also have to pretty much consider every single thought that would be crossing the rules deliberately of doing something bad as cheating, and also things that are against the spirit of the game as well as cheating, such as like pretending to be a VIP, for example. This would, like, even playing as a style that indicates that you're a VIP. You could call this like an angle shoot if you get really specific. If we're gonna get this crazy about this in poker, I would personally argue that we should get crazy about any kind of version of money being owed or like being on time to see somebody. Like, this also falls basically into the same category, just another domain. Nacho's official explanation is he had GTO Wizard open to coach students, and that he also says that he recognizes that it sets a bad example for the community, and even managed to punish himself, which seems to be a very good response, especially since ACR didn't do it for him, which seems like they should have. Or they should have been in mutual agreement. But the fact that he punished himself in spite of that really gives him a lot of credit, because that's just a good thing to do. And it also shows, okay, we can't do this, even this accidentally, and have GTO Wizard in the background accidentally while playing tournaments. ACR's original response was not very professional and not good for the collective good of poker. in my opinion, which was to brush it off and say, oh, Nacho will be goofy. And to their credit, they took it back. That was quite smart in my opinion. They pretty much exonerated him totally. I think while if Nacho was just a random person, that would have been fine. But since he's a representative of the site, setting an example for the rest of the poker world, there should be some kind of punishment to show that this kind of behavior should not be condoned and to really drill in that point for everybody. If it's condoned totally, then it opens up the door to for everyone to start using GTO Wizard or any kind of solvers whenever they want. It says with the actions that it's not a big deal to use it. And that's not a good thing. That's opening up the door for other versions of breaking the rules to seep in, for the Overton window to be pushed a little bit more and a little bit more. And this is how we end up creating a real problem of actual, real problems happening. And this has absolutely happened in other systems. It's happened in Asia with the multi-accounting, for example. I made a mistake in that area, and then I realized, oh shit, Asia's markets are doing this, are all wrong. It's happened actually in modern day life. Everyone's guilty of all kinds of bad things all the time. But to Nacho's credit, he actually punished himself, according to the report from ACR, by forfeiting his stack for day 2, which was maybe even above board, actually. Maybe even more than required to have been enough. It's definitely quite a surprise. Yeah, kudos to Nacho for punishing himself. That's quite a rare trait to see. It's weird to see virtue in the wild. What the fuck? Yeah, in spite of having kind of a goofy reputation, he managed to do the right thing in a hard way. So I have to give him props for that. Good job, Nacho. I don't think it's really a big deal, to be honest, especially since he's actually punishing himself and did hand over the hands to Patrick. If he was guilty, he would not have done that. All the guilty people always run. If they don't want to get caught, that is. They run. That's a very common theme. One of those things I try to stamp on because I can't stand when people run and make things difficult for people to be accountable. If people were to do that more and more, then you wouldn't have to enforce things so strictly. And the behavior of good behavior, a behavior that's best for the collective, would be encouraged. And there would be less and less cheating. I think, actually, generally speaking, most poker players behave pretty well. That's why we have a game. There are some problems like the rake. I think the rake is a big problem. People welch on debts a lot. And other than that, well, there's some bad things that happen, but it doesn't make the ecosystem totally defunct. So I think this venom can be cured. The snake bite is not too deep. So in short, because it's not a recurrent negative behavior and looks very clearly not something with malintent, I don't think it's a huge deal. I think that it should be punished anyway, not particularly severely. I think that the public overreacts, but I also expect the public to overreact for all kinds of reasons. They're just the random people that don't have particularly great insight. In order for them to respond maturely, they'd have to have a very high level of understanding, which is a very hard thing to come by. With that, I want to mention the Jungleverse, where we're attempting to cultivate honor and all those positive virtues and not cheating in any kind of way and being a positive asset to the poker world, as well as supporting each other so that we can all find a way to win. I launched a tournament that aligns incentives of making money, competing with your friends, and losing weight all at once with the Shuffle and Shred. If you're trying to shred some weight and also play a little cards, win a bit of money too, 15K guarantee currently. There's quite an overlay in it. Then join and take my money. I'm the one guaranteeing it, and get in better shape. The whole idea is to get you in the habit of doing all the proper gym things. Trying to find ways to succeed in terms of making your bankroll bigger and your waistline smaller, then join the Jungleverse and sign up for the Shuffle and Shred. And speaking of which, if you sign up for the Shuffle and Shred, you get 2 free months of the Jungleverse. One-time deal, not lasting long, like potentially your waistline. See you guys.